We're going. We're on. Welcome to episode 4 of the OPTC podcast. Back with the OG squad, Cooper Jr., and our fearless leader, Al. What's up? All right, so things are kind of ripping right now at the gym. Everybody that we've ever had is back in the gym getting ready for spring sports, it feels like. Sessions are hot. We're packed out. Everybody's committed. And obviously, we do run a somewhat seasonal business, and this is a very exciting time where everybody's back in. But we're sort of looking forward to the next 5 months, and we got a couple months before spring sports start, and this is when everybody is motivated, and then spring sports do start, and things kind of change a little bit. So I want to just kind of like touch on what do those next 5 months really need to look like for an athlete to see long-term success. So I'm just going to start off, throw this one out there. You know, spring sports kind of get rolling in March. So we got a couple months. What are some of the most important things for our current athletes or maybe athletes that don't even train with us right now to be doing right this second?
Yeah, I guess I'll go. The things for people to be doing right now is just becoming the best version of themselves, right? Like you gotta work hard. If you weren't satisfied with who you were last year, like if you're doing the same thing, that's kind of literally insane. If you're doing the same thing and you're expecting something different to happen, that's not great. Like there are things that can really help, and the older you get, if you do like similar programs or you do similar things, like you might be able to do them differently or with more skill or with a little bit higher level. But there are certain things like from both the skill side of sports and then the physical development of side of sports that need to continually be trending up in order for anybody to get better. So if you got to do both, but if you're only doing one and not the other, you're missing out.
Like even if you've had like kind of meh off season, like these 2 to 3 months building up to, you know, like what's probably your favorite sport, probably your favorite time of year, like now is the time to actually be consistent and make sure that, like Alex said, you're putting yourself in the best position to have like a breakout year or your best year at your sport. Just making sure that you're actually staying healthy and getting done what needs to get done if it hasn't already gotten done.
Yeah, I mean, the best time to have started was 3 months ago, but the second best time to start is right now. Yeah. Right. And for the people that have started, 3 months ago or more, you guys are in a spot where this is where it happens. You really start to see all of that deep off-season work start to look like strength and power gains that are going to show up on the field. And so honestly, for me as a coach, this is hype because we get to see a lot of our kids really start to peak their speed and peak their strength and power. And it's kind of sick. The gym's packed and everybody's just going nuts. It's awesome. But if you're not that kid and you are just now starting, number one, we're here to support you and get as much done as we can. But number two, if you're dang, well, I didn't put the work in in the off season, I don't know if things are going to go all that well. Well, that is your clue to not take a break next time a busy season runs around, right? Because this is where you're at now, right? You had a couple busy months and you were I don't have time to train, and now you're not happy about that, right? So you're going to come in and kick butt for the next 2 or 3 months. But when you start getting busy again, do not make that mistake again.
Yeah, so a lot of that is choosing in the off season, choosing the key that's going to unlock the most doors. So many kids, they do want to get better, and they really do want to. Then they feel like it's mostly a skill issue, and because their sport coach will tell them, or their individual coach, or their high school coach, whatever it is. And they'll think, dang, if I have this skill deficit, I need to get better. I need to do more one-on-one training. I need to do more skill-specific development. But they have no foundation of athleticism to build upon it, or strength, or power, or speed, all the stuff that we do. There are just so many more kids who could benefit from just doing a little bit of both instead of a ton of just one. Like what I was saying before, I think if you I know kids need to do individual skill development of their sport, whether it's juggling or passing a soccer ball with someone, or getting hitting lessons or catching lessons, or whatever your sport is. If you're going to play lacrosse and you're only going to wall ball 2% effort, but you do it every day, you're not going to get better. But if you are intentional on your skill development of your sport, but you also set yourself up to have the the foundation of better strength, better speed, better power in doing stuff like what we do, it's going to unlock so many more opportunities and so many more options for you as an athlete than I think if you were to just go ham on like individualized lessons. And we see it with kids who will like come in and they'll be like, oh, well, we can't spend so much time in the gym because we have this practice and this lesson and it's 7 days a week and we have a tournament on the weekends. And like, okay, like, but all the other people that you're competing against are here for a spot. And they're also doing those things, but they're also here. So like, do you not see the correlation? And it's showing both the athlete and the parent how much like this stuff really matters. And it's not an option anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you see this obviously like as competition levels get higher and higher. Everybody focuses so heavily on skill work, which is awesome, right? Like obviously you need great skills, but like let's take a look at, college recruiting, even at a D3 level. How many good programs are recruiting a wide receiver that runs slower than a 4.8 40? How many good programs are recruiting a basketball player that can't jump 30 inches? How many good soccer programs are recruiting, a midfielder that can't run a mile in under 6.5 minutes? Like it doesn't happen when you get to higher levels. You see like on, pro sports, it's like, oh, this guy's so like Darren Sproles, right? He was like so undersized. That dude is like one out of thousands of NFL players. Like, and his skills had to be so insane that he overcame being super undersized, right? Like that's publicly on the grand scheme of professional sports. We view people that are physically underdeveloped as like these Cinderella stories if they actually make it to the league. And like their skills must be so incredible because they're so undersized or they're not fast enough, but somehow they make it work. And like, you aren't that person. Like, you need your physical development to match up to the competition level. And especially at if you're starting to look at, playing any decent collegiate program, but even varsity sports. I mean, Hudsonville plays in a very competitive conference, and like varsity sports are just good, and you can't roll in physically underdeveloped. You really can't. And so your skill work is very important, but realistically, like if you're physically too small, too slow, not strong enough, your success is like going to get so many headlines because it's so improbable. So you're not that person. Like scratch a couple of those skill lessons and get in the weight room and put some weight on. And that's just how it works when you gain muscle mass, like your performance increases. So, like dedicate yourself to that and your performance will show that work.
Everything we were just saying is such a good segue in from like that, what you need to do in the preseason to like feel adequately prepared, to feel confident in your preparation, and then changing that into what you need for your in-season training. Because I feel like all the same reasons of why people don't do the off-season training and they only focus on the skill stuff, it's just fear. Everyone's just based in fear of like, if I don't do this to this amount and intensity and I don't listen to this specific coach, or if I don't do that, like I'm not going to make it, or I'm not going to excel, or I'm not going to make it to the next level, whatever it is. It's all, whatever your fear base is about it, it's then transfers when you're in season to, I'm afraid that if I train, I'm not going to have enough time because I have practice every day, and then I have a game when I don't have practice, and I'm afraid I don't have enough time to do my homework or to eat or to see my family. Like those are legitimate fears, but it's a fear. There's the huge fear of I'm going to be too sore to perform my best. I'm like, well, if you're playing 8th grade baseball and you stand in left field, how sore are you allowed to be? Like if all you're doing is getting 3 at bats, you're getting walked on 2 of the 3, and then you take a decent cut and you sprint to first. Can you be sore? Can you train? Like, you know what I mean? Like
just stay warmed up,
Yeah.
Stay warmed up, you'll be fine.
It's different, position specific, sport specific. I get it. But when it comes down, like you don't get sore if you keep training.
Yeah, I mean, that is just like, that's a valid point, Al. If you don't stop training, you're not going to be as sore. And I mean, the amount of kids that roll back in a week after their season, they just get obliterated. And they're like, man, this is really hard. And I'm like, yeah, because like that's what happens. Like your body adapts. And if your body is used to this kind of training stimulus, it's not going to get sore. It's going to respond to it well. Also, like we are professionals built to handle that. Right? Like we can keep you fast and strong without like crushing you. And we do that all the time. And the kids that trust us with that see progress day in and day out, year over year. I mean, it's almost like I would say a minimum 10% performance gains loss from, somebody that detrains an entire 2.5 to 3 month season. Most of our kids are multi-sport athletes, so that's 8 seasons for every high school career. So based off of that, if you are somebody that takes the whole season off and you're comparing yourself next to somebody that simply comes in and maintains their performance qualities, freshman year to senior year, that person that maintained is now 80% better than you.
Yeah.
And that's not an exaggeration. Straight up, kids take off in early March and they come back in early June, and they are significantly slower and weaker, and they take a month to get acclimated to the soreness. It's dude, we just wasted that entire month because we had to rebuild. And if you're serious, you can't be doing that.
And so many people's counter to even that is we sprint or we do conditioning in practice or in all this stuff. It's well, if you did, you wouldn't be in the spot that you are. Dedicated speed training, dedicated conditioning, dedicated strength and power development is just as much of a skill set as it is to do any of those specific lessons or sport specific stuff. So we do it and we maintain it so that we don't lose it. And I tell people this in intakes all the time. It's if you were a basketball player and you shot 500 free throws a day for 3 months, you're probably going to get pretty dang good at free throws. And if the second your season starts, you stop doing that, do you think your percentage is going to go up, stay the same, or go down? And everyone's we'll probably get worse. Right. So
yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah. Why don't we just keep maintaining the free throw percentage? We don't have to do 500 a day, but if we did 250 a day, that'd be a lot better than doing 0 a day. It's not rocket
this
surgery.
Is such a
it's just
such it's such an uninspiring thing to say, but performance gains in season, I just want you to not get worse.
Yeah.
And you not getting worse ensures your long-term success over the course of, 8 seasons during your high school career. And it really adds up. And those are just this is an example of work stacking up over time that's hard to see in the moment. But if you can take a big picture, zoom out and actually sort of visualize that over time, it is significant. That's the difference between you actually getting a scholarship in college and you begging to play at the bottom of the barrel D3. That's just what it is. And that's okay if you're just kind of out there to enjoy sports and have a good time. I don't have a problem with that as long as that's what you have resolved to do. But if you're in here telling me that you want to play sports in college and you as good as you can be at them, you don't have enough.
Yeah, prove it. We have more than enough examples of athletes who over the years have shout out, first person to come to mind, Kinsey McAleese would come from a game. She'd play a varsity lacrosse game, start on defense, play the whole game almost, and then come here and do sprints, do power, do a lift, and go home, and then come back the next day after practice. And every day, there is a way. If you don't want to do it the same amount, okay, but you got to do it. You got to do it. If, like you said, if you want to compete, if you want to be that person, if you want to be the person that is getting better, you got to do it. If you're content to just enjoy the time you have, with your team, on your sport, doing your thing, and you're just yeah, it's just fun, I don't have aspirations to play the next level, no worries. You won't have to worry about it if you keep doing it with the work ethic that you're doing it. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, in season, that's enough.
It's better than nothing at the end of the day. They're still getting in the gym, filling some gaps that they might not be getting at their school-based lift. So
totally. And
but I think also kind of going
we always expect them when they come here to just give us the best of them, which is usually the rest of them. They're never coming here at 100%. It's if you have 80, give me 100% of 80%. Give me 100% of, if you're coming in here and you're I'm crushed, I had a huge week, I had a crazy weekend, it's Tuesday, I'm just at the bottom of the barrel, it's I got 30%. It's all right, we're gonna do low level conditioning, mobility, but you're gonna give me your best effort with what you have left. That's all that we ask, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the narrative out there is just kind of about load management, and we pick it up from ESPN and LeBron doing load management. It's LeBron is the most violent high performance athlete on the planet, and he's also almost 40. So yeah, he's got to load manage, right? But you're a kid, and kids are extremely resilient. And would you rather deal with that fatigue and continue to build your body to be resilient to it now? Or would you rather run into it at age 20 in college when you're far more high performance and your results matter like way, way, way more, right? It's like kids really, we don't have, I don't want to sound irresponsible saying this, but like we just aren't having the same conversation about load management with kids as we are with college athletes or fully grown pros. It's a different, like completely different universe.
Yeah. He's also LeBron James. He's one of the most insane athletes in the last 100 years. Like one man, not a team of youth seniors. Like,
yeah, if you can get to the rim from the free throw line, any kid that did that right now, their tendons would explode.
Let's talk about load management then.
Yeah, Junior, I feel like you've been trying to like hop in.
There's one thing that I think is kind of important to reiterate from our standpoint mostly is that like we truly care about and like love all these kids, obviously, and then when they put in a really good off season and a really good preseason, and we're like stoked for them to have a breakout year, but then like they take, depending on the season, they take 2 to 6 months off, and then they come back, they're frustrated, and honestly, like it's hard for us to see, and it's frustrating for us too, because we know that could have been like all that loss of progress and all like that non-maintenance over their time in season could have been avoided if you should show up like once or twice. Because even if like you are lifting during your season for your school program or whatever, like we've been talking about, there's still a lot of like specific like speed-based gaps, strength-based gaps, power-based gaps that I think we do a very good job of filling in, and we change our programs and adapt our programs to like help them get that and get whatever they need.
Yeah. It's disheartening. It really is. Like, I love every time a kid walks in the door after a hard season and we get to see them again. Like, that's awesome. And then I see them load up their like third heavy set, and it's just like something that they used to be able to do for like 12 reps. And my heart just like sinks a little bit, where I'm like, I'm not upset at you. Like, I'm not upset at you at all. I am bummed out with you, because I know that feeling, right? Of coming back in and being like, gosh, this feels terrible. Like I've lost a lot. And that's so disheartening. There is a solution. The solution is, this is a cliche, but it's like choose your pain. It's like the pain of suffering or the pain of regret. And the suffering is, can you show up once or twice for 40 minutes in season and maintain those gaps that Junior's talking about? Or do you get that extra time, you go home, you take some rest, and you're like, oh, wow, I'm recovered. And then you show up in June and you feel terrible for an entire month. It's like, pick one. Which one is worse in your book, Yeah. What are some of those gaps? I mean, Junior, you make a good point, because kids do say like, well, like I'm getting so much work at practice, or I'm doing weight room stuff in high school, but like we do very specific things that you don't get in practice or at school that are highly important. Like, what do we feel like are some of the things that like you really just can't get elsewhere?
Yeah. I mean, the first one that comes to mind for me is kind of like focusing on health over like only strength or speed gains. Like if kids come in after a game or after a practice or whatever, and they might be absolutely wrecked, it's like, okay, like we'll do like a very low intensity recovery or a mobility day where we're like just focusing on tendon health or like dynamic speed or something like that.
Yeah.
Those are kind of like the big ones that come to mind for me, that I'm assuming a lot of like high school programs around here don't really focus on. So
yeah, can we keep those tendons really like replenishing and being strong so that they can withstand the beating that they're getting for the course of the season? And then can we do like high quality mobility stuff that's specific to the areas that like you feel bad, right? Kids will come in and they'll be like, well, we did a bunch of sprints today, and I'll ask them what it was. And they're like, yeah, we ran 100 yards and then we rested for 10 seconds and we ran 100 yards and we did that like 10 times. And I'm like, that is conditioning. That is nowhere near max velocity. And the way speed works, you got to touch max velocity to get better or maintain. So it's a completely different animal. If all of those top like strength, speed, tendon health, mobility things start to decrease over the course of the season, it doesn't really matter. And that's the stuff we hit. Yeah. I mean, I completely different subject, but we got a couple minutes to kind of maybe tackle that. Is like, I feel like that's really the big difference in what our facility is for versus what practice or high school weight room is for. I just think that we have an environment where we can target certain things that a practice or a huge weight room session just can't accomplish. And I think that that's like a huge advantage that then people that come to us get, you know? And so like everything that we do, I just like, go ahead.
I just think to your point, we don't reinvent the wheel. There are so many great strength and conditioning coaches out there doing a similar thing to what we do, but like you said, like we're providing not only an environment that is good for that, but we're providing the space for relationships to be built, for a collaborative process to be accomplished, where it's not just I'm telling you what to do it right now, it's going to help. It's, hey, like, who are you today? How are you today? How can we together make you a better version of yourself before you leave this building? And that's the kind of place that people grow to love and to trust and to want to come back to. And that's what we have the advantage of doing differently than, like you said, like a high school or college weight room.
Cool. All right. Well, my big takeaways from today are start getting after it right now. Don't you dare take a break in season. Come in and maintain your gains so that you see those results stack up over the years and years.
It's not that we don't want you to stop just because we just want to keep seeing you. We do.
Yeah.
But we are invested in your process in a way that you might not realize you're also invested in your process. So like, let us show you how you can get to where you say you want to go. Like, if you show us that you don't want to get there, then all right, we'll have to back off on our investment side. But we know what it takes to get you to where you want to go. And if you say you want to go to this level, you have to train in season. And that's the whole deal. It's upsetting to see them come back and be frustrated, like you said, that they're not where they wish they were, but they also actively took the steps to not be there.
Yeah, I mean, I think we just got to get goals and actions aligned.
Right.
And a lot of kids just don't know, right, that that's what it has to be. And maybe they do still just like think that that's not legit, but like it's legit. Like we've coached enough athletes for enough seasons year over year to see not only the individual season impact, but also the impact of an entire, middle school, high school, college career. If you do the things versus if you don't do the things that are recommended, there's a difference, and there's always a difference.
It's always a difference.
It's real. Cool. Yep. Anything else to add, boys?
I think so. I think you guys touched on the big ones.
Cool. Well, this was good. Until next time, adios.
Adios.